Joining me now from Los Angeles, California is Jamaal Finkley. He's the CEO and executive producer of BlackTree TV. And he joins us from the red carpet of the premiere of Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which features a Chinese-American superhero. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So how much is the lack of Hollywood blockbusters impacting China's movie market right now?
Well, I know that the Spring Festival is still successful, but I know that the lack of movie releases, the movies that's going straight to the streaming services and not staying in the box office is going to have a lasting effect on the box office everywhere, particularly China, where you have the most screens in the world. It's going to have a lasting effect over there.
Well, what are you hearing there in Hollywood? What's happening right now? Is COVID really hindering the ability to get back on track and producing some of these blockbuster movies? Can we expect anything coming down the line?
I think it's just feeding the uncertainty. Like right here with the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, where their releases to only box office for the first 45-day window. So this is what Disney CEO called an experiment in distribution and not to go straight to the streaming service. I think some of the other studios are following suit, with actors being not as happy with the economics when you're going to streaming as opposed to straight box office. There's a fight between being able to stay in the box office and get the full earning potential of a movie. So I think as long as the Delta variant can stay somewhat controlled, there will be hopeful. But if the variant ends up flourishing more in the spring and there's more a rise in deaths, I think we'll be right back to a slow box office year as we did in 2020.
Now, we are seeing in China that there are more domestic movies out and they're going straight to streaming. You mentioned this new model where some movies will show up in the theaters for a certain amount of time and then go straight to streaming. Is that something that could become permanent?
It may become permanent, but I think there will have to be negotiations between the writers, the actors, and the directors guilds to make that something that's permanent. Right now, the economics are just not equaling what people expected and what people's contracts said. So it's hard for anything to be permanent when everybody's not happy with it. But I think going into the future, there will be definitely a shorter theatrical window and going to the streaming platforms sooner than they have been in the past.
What about the change in marketing to moviegoers? What are studios trying to do, or what are they having to do to get their movies seen, whether it is in the theater or the online platform?
Well, there's been a lot more world premieres like this on Hollywood Boulevard, and that's one of the major marketing pieces for releases. So they've been doing a lot more digital marketing, doing different type of campaigns. But the fans around here want to see are the stars on the carpet, and without COVID testing and more people taking vaccines, it's harder to accomplish that. So the studios are having to be real creative, but they want to be in this space. They want to be here on the carpet where the fans can see the stars and everybody can be excited about going to the movies and seeing the movies in the theater.
I tell you what, it looks like a typical Hollywood movie premiere. Jamaal Finkley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
China has